Good morning, everyone. Yeah, very good morning. Shall we begin the session? All right. So the next part is a quality manual. Yes, it is defined as a document that specifying the quality management system of an organization. That means, yes, this is a description of the sequence, interaction of the processes. That means whatever that is going on in the organization, that is to be maintained within the quality manual, like a documentation. That means if an organization has purchased something new, new machinery, that is also referred or that is also included, that is also written in the quality manual. So this standard requires a quality manual to be established and maintained that includes the scope of the quality management system, the documented procedures, or we can say the description of the sequence or the interaction of the processes that is included in the quality management system. Now, when we say about the ISO 9000, so this defines the quality manual as a document that specifying the quality management system of an organization. So this is a document that specifies whatever the quality management technique, whatever the management tools we are using in the organization. So it is therefore not intended that the manual be a response to the requirement of ISO 9001. So this is different from the ISO 9001 and the ISO 9000. And when we say about the top level document that describes the management system, that is a system description that describes, that allows how the organization is managed, among the individuals. And when we say about the countless quality manual that also produced to the safety of the ISO 9000 in 1994, there were no more than 20 sections that is available for the requirements of the standards. Now, why this is necessary, or why there is a requirement of the quality manual? Because this leads to the quality or the system approach principle. Now, what is the system approach principle? That defines the rules regulation that is following up in the system. So this requires the or this approach leads to the system approach principle. So a description of the management system is a means of showing whatever the data, whatever the processes that are interconnected, how they are correctly, how they are much together to deliver the things, to deliver the business outputs. And it also serves the uses. What are the uses? That is a means to communicate with the vision, values, missions, policies, and the objectives of the organization. So it is also a means to communicate with the values, communicate with the vision, communicate with the mission, that is the target, policies, and the objectives of the organization. Then this also leads to, or this also means of showing how the system has been designed, and also means of showing linkages between the processes. So one is the way of the communication, one is how the system has been designed, what is the designing part of the system, then a means of showing linkages between the processes, then a means of showing who does what, that is what is the scenario of this one, then an aid to training new people, that is how to give the training to the new people that is available in the organization, then a tool in the analysis of the potential improvement, how to improve the necessary things, how to improve the we can say the credentials that is used within the organization, and a means of demonstrating compliance with the external standards and the regulations whatsoever the external regulations, external standard that is available with the regulation. Now, how it is implemented, or how is this implemented? So there are multiple policies, procedure, objective that are the means to achieve them, and the manual also provides a convenient vehicle for obtaining such article, for obtaining such scheme that is used with this one. And the requirement also includes a framework for the manual that contents therefore includes the following, that is the introduction, that includes the purpose of the manual, what is the main purpose, why we are using the manual, what is the main aim of using the manual. Then there is a scope. Scope means the validity or the area in which the manual is covered, or by which the organization is covered, that is a scope. Then applicability, whether the manual is applicable in the sales department only or in the production department also, that is applicability. Then definitions of the terms, definition of the various terms that is used in the manual, like standard, rules, regulations, that is the various terms, that is definitions that is available within the introduction. Then next one is a business overview that includes the nature of the business, that includes the organization, that is the scope of the activity, its product and the services. So that's the business overview. What is the nature of the business? What is the nature of the organization? Then organization interested parties that includes the customers, employees, regulators, stakeholders or shareholders, we can say owners. Then there's a diagram that includes the DFD, data flow diagram, or the contextual diagram or the context diagram that shows the organization that is related to the external environment, how to relate with the external environment. Then next one is a vision or the values. Then next one is a mission. After this, there is the third part that is known as the organization. That includes first one is function dependencies or the function criterias. Then organization chart, then locations with the scope of the activity. Then business process, the system model that shows the key components, key business processes, and how they are interconnected with each other. Business process or business planning process description, then resource management process description, product or the service generation description, how it is used, when it is used, and how it is developed. So how it is developed, what are the various processes that is distributing the things, what is the sales process description, then order fulfillment process description that is also available within the business process. Then there is a function metric, or we can say the metrics. It is not a metric, that is not a measurement part, but the function metric, that is the relationship of the functions to the processes. What is the relationship of the function to various processes? Then location metrics, that is the relationship of the location to various processes, that is which process has a which location. For example, the sales process has a different location, production department or the production location, or the production process has a different location. Then next one is the requirement deployment matrices. Yeah, just 2 minutes. Let's continue with the session. So one is a function matrix or the matrix, then is a location matrix, that is a relationship of the function to the processes, then relationship of the location to the various processes. Then next one is a requirement deployment matrices, that is a what is a compliance matrix, what is the compliance matrix. Then what are the various regulation compliance matrices, that is includes the environment, that includes the health, that includes the safety, that includes the CCA and so on. The next one is approvals. What are the various approval that is going on, what are the various scenarios that is used with approval, that is a list of the correct or list of the current products, processes and the system approval. Then this is the eighth part. So this is these are the 8 points that is available, and the process also description or the process description can be contained in a separate document and should cover the main topic that identified previously. And as a manual contains a description of the management system as a more title than a management system manual, that is MSM, or maybe a title, or maybe a title reflecting its purpose, that might be management system description, that is MSD. And in addition to this, much smaller document or the portion that will be produced that does not respond to the requirements of the ISO 9001 and the ISO 9000. Yes, and the regulations of these standards or the regulatory authorities that is available as expansions or extension that produce to map your management skills, your management data to other external requirement to demonstrate how the system works, how the system meets these requirements. And when a new requirement comes to allow, you can produce a new exposition that rather than attempt to your system for the parties, that includes the database, that includes the document that ensures the effective operation and the control of the processes, that includes or that emerge from the management system. Now this is a diagram for the system manual. These are the various ISO standards, the various versions we can say. And one is used for the business management process description, one is used for the marketing. So these are the various departments. One is a business process or business management process description, one is a marketing process description, one is a resource management process description, one is a product oblique services generation process description. Now these standards are divided with the help of the system manual or storing the system manual with these 4, we can say, the departments branches. Now, what is the scope of the quality management system, or what is the scope of QMS? Why we are using this? So this requirements neither affect the organization ability nor its responsibility to provide the product that meets the customer and the applicable regulatory requirements. And when we use the ISO 9000, it was also possible for the organization to exclude the functions and the processes of the organizations that may be difficult to control or what not be used to fulfill the fulfillment cycle. And organizations that design their ability, their own product, not for the specific customers, should also use or bring these operations to the management system. In this case also marketing was omitted because it operated before the placement of the order. Accounting, admin, maintenance, publicity, public relation, and after sales supports functions are also omitted because there are no requirement in the standards, because there is no requirement in these ISO standards. This also leads to the system approach principle. Next part is when we say about the referencing procedure, that includes the document procedures that is established for the quality management system and how we are referring to the quality management system. And why it is necessary, because this leads to the process approach principle. And how it is implemented, same. Whenever there is a retention of the requirement for the manual to include, that is a documented procedure that the management system is perceived or is achieved by the standard that makes a primary comprising procedures. Then next is describing the processes and their interaction, how to include the process, how to include the various description of the interaction that shows the description that shows what is the interaction that is going on between the processes of the quality management system. Now, what does this mean? So this leads to the quality management system. This leads to how the system interacts with the other to produce the required output. And the description of this interaction means that the linkages between the processes, source and destination of these linkages, what being passed along these channels should be also be described. And this responds to the system approach principle that achieves the organization objective, and they are linked together to perform the to demonstrate we can say the coherent system. Yes, this also shows how to operate. That's why it is a process approach principle. The processing is also given, processing is also operated out. Now, what are the various documents that is required? One is that fulfills a useful purpose in the organization, then resources are not wasted out, the information is kept up to date, information is in a form that can be used by the various peoples, then classified information that is restricted to only those with the need to know, then whatever the information we can say the important information that is used for the investigation of the problems, improvement opportunities, and or the potential litigation that is also written. How this is implemented by using a server. Next is a document control procedure that is established to define the control needed. And the aspects that is used in the documents and the procedure that was granted, that is also as follows. One is first is the planning the new documents, findings, prior authorization, establishing the needs, then preparation of the documents, who prepare them, how they are drafted. Now what are the various diagrams that is used in this one, that is the text diagram, forms, and so on. Then what are the various standards for the format, or the standards for the format and the content of document, forms, and the diagrams, document identification convention, then issue notation, draft issue, and the post approval issues, dating convention, date of issue, date of approval, or the date of distribution. Document review, document approval, document proving prior to the use, printing and the publication, who does it and who checks it. Then distribution of the documents, who decides, who does it and who checks it. Then use of the document, that is we can say the limited document that is issued out, and whatever the term that is used, that is doing the with the help of the computer. Then denoting the changes, whatever the changes that is available, sidelining, underlining. So these are the various we can say the procedure that is available. Yeah, these are the various aspects we can say that is used in the document control procedure. Now, last part is a document approval. Everything is done. Now the document requires approval from the management. So before it is used or before it is available for the use, so there is a check that is known as adequacy check that is available for the document approval. And in the paper-based system, this means approval before the document is distributed. And with an electronic system, it means that the document should be approved before they are published or made available to the user community. Why this is necessary? Because this leads or this responds to the factual approach principle that have been judged by the authorized personnel and found fit for the purpose that will be unapproved, or we can say no unapproved documents are in circulations. This also requires or this also leads to the accuracy or adequacy of the documents. Documents are adequate. Approval authorities denoting the approvals, issuing documents, approving the external documents, approving data. These are the various. Yeah, these are the review parts. This also describes how the documents is to be reviewed that is used for the approval. Now, so reviews may be necessary when taking the remedial action that is correcting an error, preventing an error, and preventing the occurrence of an error. So there are three parts. One is a one is correcting the errors, one is a preventing the errors, one is a prevention of the errors. Then taking maintenance if the errors arise, so keeping the information current, that is taking the maintenance action. Validating a document for the use. Always validate the documents. That includes project, product, contract, or other appliances, or not appliances, that is applications. Then taking the improvement action, that is meaning making the beneficial changes to the information. This is again the same. It is implemented by using the random reviews, so that the document will be updated as necessary and re-approved following their reviews. These are the same various documents that is prepared for the manuals.